Nobody inside Team USA expected this to get messy. They anticipated hype, chatter, a bit of noise, but they never imagined losing control. Caitlin Clark's NBC debut was supposed to be harmless, a quick appearance, a nice spotlight moment. Instead, it exposed everything. From the second she appeared, the reaction was immediate. Not casual curiosity, not polite interest. Genuine, undivided attention. NBA fans didn't treat her like a guest. They treated her like she belonged there. She spoke with calm authority, broke down the game effortlessly, and millions stayed glued to the screen. That's when the unease began. Within Team USA circles, people realized something uncomfortable. The conversation wasn't about the program anymore. It wasn't about coaching decisions, not even about the team. It was about her, Caitlin Clark. And that terrified the system. Team USA has always held one belief above all. The program comes first. The jersey matters more than the individual. NBC shattered that notion in a single night. Fans didn't wait for permission. They didn't ask who approved it. They followed what felt real. They followed Caitlin Clark. And inside Team USA, the mood shifted fast.
WNBA superstars debut as an NBA analyst, and NBC has absolutely been killing it. First, they had MJ, which, by the way, that deal was insane. He got paid $40 million, and I literally think he sat down for an hour. NBC knows how to find the cream of the crop talent, and I just loved what the executive producer for NBC Sports said. This is Sam Flood. He said, "There's no more iconic figure in basketball in the women's game right now, or the game in general." So we said, let's have a bigger conversation. And it's just so crazy that it feels like every other sport will just come out and say what it is besides the WNBA. The NBA is not scared to acknowledge that there's no more iconic figure in basketball, not just the women's game, but possibly the game in general than Caitlin Clark. But we would not hear that in the WNBA space. We wouldn't hear that from WNBA media, but the NBA media and the NBA and the league itself is not scared to say it. Like we've seen it when Caitlin does golf events. It just seems like every league but her own is not scared to say the truth. But I do think it's really
Confusion turned to frustration. Frustration turned to anger, but not the public kind. Private anger, simmering behind closed doors. This wasn't supposed to happen. Caitlin Clark wasn't meant to outshine the program. She wasn't meant to command attention without approval. She wasn't supposed to make people question decisions, but she did. And once fans start questioning authority, authority starts to feel threatened. That's where the coach's reaction came from. Not jealousy, not hatred, but fear. Fear that control was slipping. Fear that the system was losing its grip. Because the NBC moment did something permanent. It proved Caitlin Clark could connect with audiences without the program. And that's dangerous for any institution. The coach tried to regain control. The tone hardened. Interviews grew sharper. Answers became colder. Fans noticed immediately. Confidence doesn't react emotionally. Insecurity does. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark stayed calm. No response. No statements. No drama. And that calm made everything else look worse. While leadership appeared rattled, she radiated composure. While the system flinched, she exuded confidence. Fans always notice that. Fans always choose calm. Fans always follow confidence.
Anybody got on a court was December with Team USA basketball. She should be back in action with Team USA basketball within a month or so. So that's great. But everybody wants to see her back on the floor with the Indiana Fever. And she's been strongly pushing it. The season's coming, ready to go. And clearly that continued. First, there was a look at the shoes, the new PEs, which apparently might be Parent Trap themed. That's what the theories out there were. I'm not so familiar with Parent Trap, to be honest with you, but if that's the theme, that's the theme. And then Bree Lurke, who of course is photographer extraordinaire around Caitlin Clark, shared this footage from the workout, a 5-on-5 workout. So Clark obviously getting real work in. Working on the handles, I think you see. It's good to hear the sound of the sneaker squeak.
NBA audiences made it perfectly clear. They didn't tune in out of obligation. They tuned in because she was real. She spoke the game fluently. She carried herself naturally. She didn't oversell her importance. And that authenticity landed harder than any marketing campaign ever could. That's when Team USA felt it, the harsh truth. They didn't own her momentum. The crowd did. And once momentum belongs to the fans, you can't control it. You can't slow it down. You can't redirect it. You can only react. And reacting late? It makes you look weak. The coach's frustration started to slip through small things. Tone, posture, microexpressions. Nothing explicit, but fans always notice. And instead of diminishing Caitlin Clark, it only amplified her presence. She didn't fight back. She didn't complain. She didn't demand respect. She let the moment speak, and it screamed. This wasn't just one NBC appearance. It was a statement. Independence. Relevance beyond the system. A superstar who doesn't need permission. And that terrifies programs built on hierarchy.
Spotlight that comes with an NBA national broadcast. So he loved every bit of what Caitlin Clark did and what she brought to the broadcast. Now, this is where he started talking a little bit about having Caitlin Clark back more than that March 29th announcement. So it says NBC Sports is planning to bring Clark back later this season. Cordella confirmed that she is scheduled to appear as an analyst for the Knicks versus Thunder on March 29th. As we know, he also added that he hopes to see more of Clark moving forward, signaling that the door is open for additional appearances. While no expanded role has been formally announced, the comment suggested genuine interest rather than casual praise. So, hey man, I don't know. We might see Caitlin working that booth. That'll be dope though, man. That'll be dope. Of course, with everything going on with the WNBA, we don't even know if we're going to have a season, man. Nonsensical work going on over there in the WNBA. But yeah, we don't know if we're going to have a season. So this might be the only dose of Caitlin Clark the fans could get. And yeah, I mean, I guess I'm here for it. I'm here for it if that's all we're going to get. But I definitely hope that they end up figuring out this whole CBA thing, man. Now, I did see this yesterday, but I didn't too much care to talk about it, man. It's the same old status quo with the CBA proposal, but somehow it was leaked by Ramona Shelburne. I don't think it was leaked by her. I think ESPN leaked it. She just put it on her Twitter, but it's funny that it says confidential and everybody has it now. But anyway, they was just saying some of the things that the proposal is given, right? Substantially increase player salaries to reflect recent and future business growth, promote business health and profitability.
Team USA wasn't collapsing, but it was exposed. Exposed as unready for a player who moves faster than the system. The program thrives on patience. Caitlin Clark thrives on speed. She represents acceleration, and the system wasn't built for it.
Negotiations going on. She's got the Nike stuff coming out, any other off-court ventures, and then, of course, clearly preparing for the Indiana Fever season. And certainly, it all systems seem go for Caitlin Clark. And from everything she's putting out there publicly, her expectation is that she's going to be on the floor for the Fever on schedule. And